Oh, for streaming. There we go. I think we're good. So we'll give it a minute. We'll check some water. We swapped it out this morning. Almost. There we go. What's up? Get rid of yesterday's, and then we'll just check it. We got some patterns to cut. We're going to be doing C2 ceramic 5 on the front doors. So he is going dark. We're going dark. There it is, all the way in the back corner. This is how much we do C2 ceramic 5. Or my other box that was over there. No, I think that was carbon. And then we're going to do 15 on the rest of it. And then 35 on the windshield. You gotta say that to remind myself.
You want to put it on the back window or no?
I'll plotter it on the back window.
Sorry.
This isn't anything important, right? Oh, I know. Come on. We can plug in a charger in the meantime. That doesn't get in the way, does it? I don't think so. Neat. Alright. Is this all hooked up yet? Select live source. Activate. Yes. Cross our fingers. And we'll see. Alright, so we're going to jump into core. We're going to go to a vehicle. Close that out. So it's going to be a brand new Tesla Model Y. We're going to start with the front door. Go to cut board. Let's get rid of this. Drag that down. 24-inch roll. Are all my settings good? Should be. Cut. Oh yeah, we need this. Never hand cut again? That's right. When we use a plotter one day, we never hand cut again. Not as much. If the patterns are good, we don't need to. Was it the last stream we hand cut? So it just depends. Depends on the day, depends on the car. Depends on my mood. Swap out some blades. I think the last Model Y that I cut, I still had to hand trim the top edge on one of the sides because it didn't quite line up. So we'll see. We got some knives. We got 2 shanks. We just need 1. Let's throw this away. Glass boards over there. Perfect. See how shit's cutting.
Hey, there's a scratch on the windshield.
Oh, there is?
And it looks like it's on the inside.
Ooh.
Or it could be a hair.
It's a big difference.
Nope.
Ooh, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, from probably removing this.
Somebody used a razor blade to remove that.
Ooh.
For sure.
Good spot. We gotta let him know about this.
Yeah,
He might want to get this windshield replaced before we... Alright, let me message him. Oh, I can just... What am I doing? Oh.
Sorry.
It's okay, I got squeegees. Yeah, so...
It helps that you can see the remnants of the sticker that was there.
Yeah, because it's...
Because that's exactly what happened.
Probably. Alright, yeah, I'm calling customer.
Hello.
Hey Larry, this is Matt.
Hey, yeah, I was looking at the pictures you sent.
Look,
Like a scratch on the outside of the windshield.
that's on the inside. We're looking it over. We haven't even touched the inside yet. But yeah, we found what looks to be a couple of hairline scratches. That's definitely like on the glass. There's residue from what used to be some sort of like tag or sticker there from like just the factory. But there's definitely some scratches in the glass. I don't know if you want to. Tesla would have to replace this. But yeah, over in the lower, oh, maybe not in the lower area there at the corner, but definitely that one, and it looks like right above it, there's some fine line scratch. So it'll likely just show in the final result. It's not going to stick out a ton, but it'll probably still show.
So he just looked over the car, but he looked over the car. He said on the inside, like the bottom line, there's like a couple hairline scratches that look like a decal or something at the factory. He looked over it, it might just show like the final result, but it's not worth the,
Yep. Yeah, the driver's lower corner. Driver's side lower corner. Yeah, it could have been like an in-transit sticker, any type of factory sticker. You can see the residue of where they removed it, and there's just a few hairline scratches right around there. I don't know if they took a blade to that area or, you know, there's just a scratch right around there. No, it's definitely just like a light scratch. It's just when we put the tint over it, it's likely going to still show like a fine white scratch in that area. And like we'll check it over. to see if there's like any additional. It looked like there's a really faint one right at the top of it too. But other than that, I'm not seeing anything obvious yet. We just wanted to make sure that you were aware and wanted to see what you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Yep, it'd be purely cosmetic. So, yep, we can absolutely tint right over it. All right, sounds good. We will continue. All right, have a good one.
Just send it. I'd be pissed. I had something like that on my instrument cluster on a car that I bought that was brand new, and the dealership wouldn't fix it.
And they wouldn't fix it?
No.
That's the worst.
Brand new, it has 18 miles on it.
I'm sure Tesla would fix it, but I know you just gotta go through it. But something like that is definitely gonna stand out as like a light hair scratch still when it's done. So as long as I don't get blamed for it, we're good. Yeah, stuff like that. Super important. That's cover your own ass policy right there. I get you gotta let the customer know, but who's replacing a window for a scratch you can barely probably see? Tesla, absolutely. So you can probably barely see it on this camera. It's a lot more than just a really faint hairline scratch. Like, it's a hairline, but it's a little bit of a deeper hairline scratch, if that makes sense.
Like, I thought it was a white husky hair. I was gonna say, like, be careful, this dude has a dog.
Yeah, like it stands out more than you might think. So you see something like that on a car like this, it absolutely fix it, or would be responsible for fixing it. I mean, they had all kinds of like quality control issues before, panel gaps and whatnot. Waters looks good. Cool, that's nice. Do you like peeling on the car or the board? I like peeling typically more off the car. Let's try this again. Because it's nice because the car is right here. So I'm tinting this window. So it's as simple as it comes off this window and then goes on the inside. I don't think it turns out better peeling it off of a peel board. You agree, and you peel off a peel board? It's more whatever comes a little bit more naturally. Do you get scared of a backlash on a Tesla? No, not scared of them. It's just going to be a bigger project that day. So the Model 3 back windows. I have one. They're not too terribly hard to shrink once you've been through it a couple times. They're just something a little different to get used to. But higher frequency helps too. That's what makes older cars so obnoxious. Is like if you had an older car and we just got asked about them more and more often and did them regularly, then they're just not as big of a deal. But when you don't have to do them hardly ever, they're just so different from your average workflow that like they just don't make as much sense. That's why people charge way more. They're just going to be way more time consuming. But we have lots of Teslas on the road. They're still making them. Common for tinting. So any added difficulty that comes along with them. What is this doing? Can you stop? There we go. What do you mean, old cars? Like stuff pre-2000. You always have your unique vehicles. I'm gonna bring this over there. I'm gonna steal a razor blade pack.
Hey, do you go above this line or below this defrost line?
I'll do the tape around the mirror cutout.
I'll just stop right there then.
Doesn't all the water get into your flooring? Yeah, that's the point of the little slats in it. What's a program you use for the cuts and how much per month? We use Core. It's $200 per month. What's a common mistake?
Pushing film down before it shrunk enough?
Or a common mistake I made.
Oh, no.
I mean, not really. When you keep making the same mistake, you gotta learn from it. But a common problem could be just dirt or a hair in the film. That's really common. I was just wondering, because I love tinting older cars because nobody will tint them. That's cool. I respect that. I hate doing older cars. But yeah, nobody does them because they take up way more time. People have to pay right for them too, though. So a lot of times, an older car that's cool, you just don't have the same amount of money behind it. So somebody will get it on a deal and then want to throw tint and think that pricing is going to be the same on that. And it really shouldn't be. Unless you want to do them for that. That's fine. Is carbon still good? Yeah, even dyed film is still good. On Teslas, should you use less water? Why? Because they're electric? But there's electrics in every car. The idea is you just be careful. And when something costs more, be extra careful. We just always tint things in a way that keeps them covered, safe. Whether it's a Ram, a Malibu, I don't care. I don't care what it is. Just keep it covered. It keeps your bills down. There we go. What's your fave at Starbucks? Right now, it's a vanilla latte with just a little less vanilla in it. We were on mochas for a while. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you were self-taught. No, I learned from somebody, but I learned a lot. Do you not put Teflon tape on your triangle? No, not on the tri-edges. You just get a new one. Tri-edges are nice. If your cards are scratching, it's a card problem. Have you ever fried a BCM module? No. No, not entirely. I was at a shop, and I had heard issues about the RAM. Up to that point, I never had any issues. But we had to do a RAM windshield twice, and I was tinting with other people, and it was just excessive, both in what was used for cleaning it, and so water ran somewhere that it shouldn't. But the truck sat overnight, it was okay. But yeah, don't not cover those. You can absolutely tint them safely. So knowing what I know now, I go out of my way to make sure it's covered. But I'm just personally way more thorough about covering them. People can learn without a person present to teach them. I don't know why Homeboy assumed it was a negative. Who? Thoughts on Reno? I haven't seen it in person, but somebody that I used to tint with a lot went out to a shop that uses it and helped them out for the day. And he said it was way thicker and different than most films. He wasn't expecting it to be that different. So that's as much as I know about it. I carried rayon in 2013. It was bad glue all around. You know what I'm kind of surprised about is, like, we haven't seen a normal company film failure in a while. I'm probably jinxing it. But you would see Max Pro, ASWF, Scorpion, like, and I don't doubt there's still issues from any company, but just like widespread, a lot of people using this film, and then all of a sudden there's like failure after failure after failure. I just haven't seen anything from any company in a while that's like that. That even goes for, like, you know, your Tint X. Maybe shit is getting better out there. Alright. Oh, it was Reno. Okay. I didn't know if there was a film called Rayon. Oh, damn autocorrect. Suntech and Geo make a comparison video. I thought about it for a little bit. I would really like to be able to have the time and rather than just doing customer cars, we could just do a little bit more like film analysis, like just check it out, color, shrinking, all the stuff that you can check out. Here, I want to see if this works. Geo runs the world. Is that the right button? Hey, look at that. Does that work? Oh, I hit the wrong button. Hang on. Let's go back. It would be cool to see film and tool reviews. Well, it did work for a second. Now it says it's disconnected. There we go. Maybe this will help with seeing shrinking. So on a Model Y, we have fingers that are a little bit bigger. And honestly, you could throw some dryer sheet and still dry shrink these. That's apparently not, it's a little different, but totally fine. I'll shrink the bigger fingers, and then I'll snap shrink the rest of it. Using smart glasses to read chat. That would be really cool. You know, at this point it could probably be done. We would just need like a smart feed to pull from both streams. That's where it gets a little complicated. But I hooked up 2 big TVs. And I listen to chat too, so I hear all your comments. Online classes? No. Tried them. Online's tough though. These are your online classes, so if you have questions, ask. That's a lot of heat. It was still wet. Let it dry. Let it dry some. Can we switch back now? Oh yeah, I need this one, right? Hey! That's cool. How do you know how much to heat? I'm watching what the film is doing. So the goal is to make it look flat on the window. So I'm heating it until I get it to lay flat on the window. So if I squeegee this out and we still have fingers, we gotta shrink it just a little bit more. Yeah, it looks good. I like that. Oh, we got one more. This guy is showing you extra for no reason that doesn't have to be done. Well, you know what? You can spend your time and show people how to do it differently. Thank you for watching me, though. Have a nice day. Can you hand cut? Some days. How much are you charging for this one? Everything with the windshield, $5.50. All right, let's clean the inside. Or should we leave this one out here? How do you learn how to do this? You get the film, you get the stuff, and you practice. Is that normal for Detroit? 550? Depends on the shop. On a Model Y, it should probably be a little bit more than that. Sunroof? No. Our customers sometimes pay $7. Yeah, we used to do a lot more at $7. We've adjusted some though. But we kind of do that based on demand. So if it gets busier and our schedule fills out, prices go up. Practice on your own car? Yeah, absolutely. You got to start with at least being able to know how to tint your own car. And you can learn a lot. Because windows a lot of times have this type of shape. They're not necessarily frameless, but there's a lot of frame, there's a lot of frameless. You got to learn how to do both. Start with your car. Watch videos. Buy supplies. See how you like it, see how you do. And go from there. It's easier framed or frameless. I still prefer framed. Give me like an F-150 or a Malibu. I'd rather do those all day. Junkyard cars, that's a way of doing it. Like, friends and family, just get your hands on a vehicle. Find somewhere out of the wind and the sun to practice, and then practice. I like how you say Malibu? Like a normal person, Malibu. Or do they say it weird? I still don't understand why you like Malibus. Just everything about a Malibu. Like, so it's not a truck. When somebody says like a car, my mind always goes to like a 4-door car with a back window. I don't think it gets like any easier. Like the easiest cars that I had were the Taurus when they changed models. But as far as cars that they're still doing today, give me Malibus all day. They're just, nothing can go wrong on them as far as frying something. They're easy to cut. They're easy to shrink. You got plenty of space to install the film. They're just all around easy cars. You put the mall in Malibu. That's fair. Do you do front windows? Like windshield? Yeah, we're doing one on this. So after we're done with this, we're gonna... Well, done with the rear. We're gonna do the windshield. Full thing with the windshield. I'd rather do an Ultima. That's fair. I think I got way less Nissans. Toyotas, I just don't see them very much. So, Metro Detroit area, we have more of Ford and Chevy. So I would just get way more like Malibus, Impalas, that kind of stuff. And then to me, it's like the easiest car. But Ultima is definitely, you know, the quarter windows on some of the what, a 2010 Malibu's easier. But did they change it for the newer ones? I don't remember. Okay, so we're gonna swap this out with a 15, which I'm pretty sure I don't have in a short roll. Love the shop flooring. Thank you. Did a Model 3 windshield and it kicked my ass. They're big and they got a curve to them. They reminded me a lot of Chargers. Alrighty, where are we? 15. There it is. Again, a little less popular of a shade. So it's sitting in back. But I don't think I have a short roll of 15. No, I don't. I'm regretting that right now. Because 36, I'm pretty sure is going to be too short to get both. Model 3 windshield isn't bad. On 36 it's tight, but on 40 it's easy. Yeah, you're like just coming to the edge. Ford, Chevy, and Dodge trucks here in LA. It's a lot like we're here. So many trucks. But we're not out in the country. So they're all clean. And new. But yeah, I'm right near Stellantis, where they make all the Rams. So like we get a lot of those too. Ooh, is it gonna fit? Nice. We should be spot on with this one. I was not expecting that. Let's see. Saving film on this one. Are you able to hear your comments? I have a software running in a headphone, and it processes the comment and reads it in a very nice voice now. It used to be super robotic-y. Now it's like a chat GPT style voice. It's calm and very dry. But yeah, it's a little trick that I did a long time ago because it takes me way too much time to stop and read. And then the chat moves. So I don't always hear every comment. Boop, 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 boop. It used to not filter out emojis, but now it does. So it doesn't actually read emojis anymore. But yeah, I used to be on the phone all day while I was tinting. So I'm either like learning something that I'm trying to do. So live streaming, camera stuff, computer stuff. Like I'm always listening to either a podcast, videos on stuff. But I'd be on the phone at accounts. So talking on the phone and working go hand in hand. So this is a lot like that where I'm just talking to chat as I'm working. I've changed my cut strip multiple times and the blade. Why does my blade on my Graphtec cut good for a good 20 feet of film and then go dull. Whoa. That? Thank you for the 5. I've changed the blade and cut strip multiple times. Huh. I don't know why it would be cutting good. It's not, so it's only cutting through the tint, right? It's not scoring through the entire thing. Until after 20 feet. I don't think I've ever heard that. Dang, I wish I had a really good answer for you. I'll just show you what we have set up on our GraphTech. The default, it's set the wrong pressure. Yeah, it probably has something to do with that, but it's weird for it to, everything's fine, and then 20 feet later, all of a sudden it's not. After about 20 feet, it gets hard to read. So I'll show you where we have our blade. Thank you for the super chat. I'll show you where we have our blade, and I'll show you what we have on our plotter. So, step 1, I don't think I'll be able to show this, but this is our blade, because I don't think it's going to focus this close. But we have our blade like barely poking out of the bottom there. That's step 1. This is a little depth sear. I wonder if I can show this, or it's just going to be too hard. Is this supposed to go this way? No, it's supposed to go this way. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. Hang on. I'm trying to move it so you can. Oh, this is really tough. But yeah, this is a depth thing that came with our GraphTech. It actually lets you see how far out your blade is extended, and you can see if it's still sharp. So it's not very far out. And then as for our cut settings right now, I have speed at 30, force at 15. The force matters way more. You want to make sure that you're using low angle blades. These aren't even the GraphTech ones. I bought them off of Amazon. So these are just 25 to 30 degree blades. So use a lower angle when you're cutting window tint. And then the last thing that we did, we got some Teflon tape. And I use 2 layers of this right now. So the cut strip that it comes with is great. But if you put a little gouge in it, then that means you have to take this entire cut strip, pull it up, try and clean it, and factory press a brand new one. And I think that's just way too hard to try and get it as flush as you can. So rather than cutting directly on the cut strip, we're cutting on just a Teflon tape. And we put 2 layers because we have had mistakes and the blades cut through and started to gouge our cut strip a little bit. But we have 2 layers of this, and it helps even out our cut strip, and it's really easy to just peel off if we make a mistake, put 2 layers back down again. So those are all the things that we've done. And it's working pretty good. Occasionally, we have to clean off the blade. That was something that just happened recently. Like it just wasn't cutting through quite as much anymore. So I pulled the blade out. I wiped the guck off the blade. It's usually just dust, but for whatever reason, it was a little scummy. But since we get cheaper blades, I have no problem just swapping them out with a different blade. So I was just cleaning it off to see if it's okay where everything's at, because I swear once you change the blade again, it's like you're fiddling with your settings to get it perfect. But right now with both films, we have it so dialed in. Hardly any snags, but after a little while it'll start snagging some, and then we have to make a little tweak. But 15 grams of force is almost nothing. We usually run 100. So it's not, do you have a GraphTech? Because on my workhorse machine, 100 on a GraphTech is crazy. On my workhorse machine, I was anywhere between 65 and 75. But I look at it less as like, it's not so much an exact measurement of pressure, it's just wherever that blade is and what number I need to cut through my film. But on GraphTech, like, so there's a software called Tint 2020, and that's because they recommend your plotter settings start at 2020 and then work from there. So it just depends on the machine that you're using. 20 on my workhorse wouldn't have even scratched it. I thought this was going to be placed on the inside. This is 70-mile-an-hour tint, so as soon as he hops on the freeway, it's flying off. A Jaguar must be a different unit of measurement. Yeah, for sure it would be, if that's the case. I've not seen a GraphTech, or sorry, I've not seen a Jag in person. I'm GraphTech or the workhorse machines. But yeah, I think on the GraphTech, like the FC 9000s, I think even 20 would be kind of crazy. Why does tint soap solution smell a little weird after a while? You might be putting your nose a little close to the bottle there. Does reflective tint look good on a car? If the windshield doesn't have it, I think there's a whole lot of ways you can tint a car and it still looks good without necessarily having to do a windshield. But reflective films just aren't very common. Maybe they'll come back, but people get pulled over for them a lot faster. Lightly tinting your windows, you're generally okay. Tinting them with something reflective, you just stand out a lot more. Did I? Sorry, let me make sure. Did I? Oh my gosh, I didn't. On both the back doors. And forgot. No wonder. I gotta make sure this is all clean. All the way at the bottom. I was like, this seems a little short. There we go. See how they line up. Still think I gotta tweak them. Yep, that's a little lower than I want. It's a good chance to check them. Where do you buy the door tool? We made them, but they're not quite ready yet. They work, but I just like them to line up a little bit better with more cars. Is it really okay to have that much water go down between the glass? Yep. Yep, it is. Doesn't mean you're never going to have an issue, but the majority of the time you're not going to have an issue. Water gets in your door and you don't realize it. Like when it rains or snows. There's always water that's leaking into your door. So we're tinting the same, like it's the inside of the door, but it's going to the same place. There's drain holes, water doesn't just stay there. So what I just put in the door, it's just a door prop. It's a door latch slash prop. So I want it to, instead of just like latching the door, which you can do with any tool, I want it to be a safeguard. So if somebody comes by and accidentally shuts the door, that hits the latch and not the glass at the top. This is GeoShield C2 ceramic. Ding, 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 ding. I've tried to tint my own windows. I'm impatient and dumb. It takes a lot of dumb patience, actually, to tint windows, I think. It's just like right circumstances for me to learn window tinting. I didn't like go, ooh, car window tinting. I want to learn that and make that my job. My dad had a auto accessories company. And window tinting was just one of the things that they did, but they had a guy that did it. And so I was learning how to do other stuff. That guy didn't want to teach anybody. I can't blame him. I would have just annoyed him probably all day. But then he quit. And we had a lot of appointments. And so my dad brought in his business partner's son, who was a newer tinter, but had taught himself and learned, and so he taught me how to tint. So I learned over the course of a summer. I was still going to aviation mechanics school. I was intending on doing something completely different. Didn't really have a plan, though. It just seemed like a cool field, and then I kept window tinting because I learned aviation kind of sucks, too. I bought some Pro Nano a few weeks ago. The 313 code didn't work. The 313 code right now is for tools only. GoPro or Meta glasses. Man, I would love if I could use a pair of glasses. But the Metas are just for video. We're using Osmo. Look at that. Right there. GoPro's really gone downhill too. Look at this thing. This was the 10. I used to stream with this, HDMI out going to a transmitter. Otherwise, this thing overheats after 30 minutes. But yeah, I had like the max lens mod on it. I had a crazy setup. Oh yeah, Windows right here. Let's take this over there. If you do the windshield, can you walk us through it? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What are you using to stream? That's a loaded question. You guys want to see a fun trick, though? I just got it hooked up yesterday. So I have a HDMI switcher here. That's this. But there's no software or remote control for it that I could just switch inputs. I have it split and it goes to a computer and it goes to that box right there. But I put these little robot switches on it. So if I click this button, it switches camera. This little thing goes down and pushes a button. So if I push this one, it switches. That one switches back. Then now I got it in a remote that's this big. It's fucking great. I love it. How much do you think you spent on flooring? So this green section, that used to go in a 2-car garage. So I used to tint in a house that I was renting. And so I finished the floor in there. The city told me to stop. So then I found this space and I brought the floor with. All in all, probably about $4,500 to like $5,000. But I did it in sections. And I didn't think I'd finish the entire floor. So it's nice that you can at least do like a small area. But it's mainly for aesthetics. It's nice if you don't have floor drains, you can stand above puddles. But if we were washing cars, we would have a completely different setup. We'd have like a containment area for the water. It would go right into floor drains, and we would just have to do those. But this space does not have floor drains. So floor underneath it gets gross and scuzzy, and then eventually we have to pull up the tiles and sweep it out underneath when we finally feel like it should. Should have used $5,000 on a vacation. What if I did a vacation and the floor though? When's the last time you took a vacation? May. And then we went back with my wife to the Philippines to see her family in last December. This floor is raised deck. One floor I want to take a look at though, Vivor? They have flooring in like 3 colors. I want to say it's like half the price. I don't know if there's any difference between them. Like, Race Deck could be the brand and Beaver could be the actual, I don't know, just as good. Where's my purple towel? I set it somewhere. Yeah, Beaver makes everything. Yeah, there were people telling me about plotters that they were using. I had the Beaver floor. Yeah, the race deck that I got was not like their high-end, extra cushy. They're hard plastic tiles. So the biggest thing is, like, do they snap when you drive a car over them? And they don't. So as long as the Beaver doesn't do that, you probably have the same quality thing. Beaver makes computer parts. It's just your classic, like, let's brand everything. Oh yeah, there we go. See, somebody uses one of their plotters. I think it's, I don't know. I think they all can work, but I think some people get a little bit more lucky than others. Because on a plotter, you gotta, it's just fine tuning it. So if one machine is built in a way that it's slightly skewed, I could see it just not cutting right. I've shifted this floor too, so this one doesn't stick any better. Like a big truck, if you drive it in a little fast or you turn the wheels a little hard. And then we also have a, God, what was it called? We have a lift, not a car lift. Like a forklift pallet jack, kind of like a hybrid between there. We have that thing over there. And that's fucked up a lot of tiles. Because we'll take inventory and we'll put it up there. It's the point of that yellow gate. We store all our extra inventory up there. So when we drag a big pallet across the floor, it fucks up our floor. But it's a learning experience. Harder squeegee, push some extra bubbles out. Any particular tint for beginners? There's one I always suggest, because I got it, I tried it. T-View off of Amazon. It's like $100 a roll. I don't know how long that stuff's gonna last, but it's an inexpensive dyed film. When carbon and ceramic first came out, it was hazy, it was rubbery, it was not shrinking friendly. It was a new material. So they have since made it more user friendly, and it's a lot better, it's a lot clearer. But the cheap stuff tends to be more rubbery and less shrinking friendly. So shrinking is such a hard thing for a lot of people to learn. So whatever you get, you don't have to get an expensive film, but just try and avoid cheaper carbons and cheaper ceramics when you're starting. Hell yeah, all done. Except the back. We gotta do the back. And then the windshield. We gotta do the windshield too. Why am I on? What? Okay, we're gonna move this. There we go. Delete. So let's grab a back window. And then the rear quarters. Should we double? For no good reason other than we can.
Yeah. Well, that's not Matt has this stuff. That is our shop. He was standing in our shop, and somebody turned it in. So he wasn't even right. And some was like, "Hey, I can't do that." So we were like,
realign swirlers. Okay. It's got to be this last one, right? Because that's where it stopped. They are aligned. Don't tell me it's not. I hate that it checks for them every time, because here's the problem. It goes 1, 2, and then those ones aren't used, but I have to put them somewhere. There we go. Literally plotting the same windows. Nice. No more hand cut. That's right. Hand cutting is dead. Forever. Can I have some fun? Did you ask about Zivant? I've never heard of Zivant. Do you ever crosscut or just trim the film yourself? I trim it. I'll show you exactly why though. So crosscut is this button. Watch how slow this shit is. Nope. It's running away. It's got to arm the tool first. gotta come all the way back. But if I want to just start cutting another thing, it's not ready yet. And then it goes back over there. Why? I don't know. Still not ready yet. Still not ready yet. Oh. Still not ready yet. Okay, now I can cut something. Crosscut on this thing sucks. It takes for fucking ever. But it really shows why I don't like the rollers. So each time, it's got to find all 4 rollers on the FC9000. The 8600 was better because it didn't need all 4. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So it thinks then the center, because I have a roller there and there, it thinks the center is right here. There's no way to put those rollers in standby that I know of. I would love a way to, though, if I could. Did I make an oopsie? Hang on. Okay, good. It's got that cut out. All right, I was just making sure. I don't remember. Have you used Autobahn? No, I hear good things though. I know if you use Pro Classic and Pro Nano, it's going to be very similar to a lot of, or a few of the Autobahn lines. Same thing for XPEL. Same thing for Solar FX. Same thing for Ceramic Pro. Wait, why am I cutting these out? I don't know how to do that. How often do you install Apex? I install it a lot now, but it's because of where it's positioned. It's now our top, but it's achievable for most of our customers. So we used to have Pro Nano in the like $650 to $700 range. That's where we priced Apex now. And then we took out Pro Nano and replaced it with C2 and put that as our mid. So yeah, we just do a lot more of it now. Do you have to reload the media whenever you trim yourself, or is it a shortcut to not do that? Reload the media. No, I don't have to do anything. I don't quite understand, but I don't have to change anything until I swap the roll. Even then, if I install it if I put the roll in the same spot, I could click continue, or we could just do set it up again with the one button press. Ooh, should we get a camera for this? There it is. 650 with the windshield, yes. So this one being C2 is 550. All right, so we're gonna be shrinking this. And I like to give everybody a good view of that. POV helps some, but we might be able to see it a little bit better if we switch. Can I order a kit from you guys? No, we don't do kits. I'm sorry. So pretty straightforward back window to shrink. The windshield's going to be a lot more curved. But same rules here. We're looking for this pattern right here. Little waves. Shrink the film down until you see those. When you see those, you can card the film. Let's see if I can hold my hand out of the way. How much for my 02 Buick Regal with double 5? My guy. Instead of double 5, do you want to do 2%? It'll save you money. We don't do double tinting, but we have a darker film. On an 02 Regal, do you want to do a windshield? All around with the windshield, because this is an 02 Regal, we would do for, it'd be $550 on that. Should make an extension for your gun? What do you mean? Oops. Nope. I have 2% Geo, 20% windshield, and I can't see at night. Worth it. It's funny. What's the best way to match factory windows? Is there a formula you use? I take a glass meter, little VLT thing, and I check it. Does C2 shrink easier than Pro Nano? I don't think so. Pro Nano is a fast shrinking film for whatever reason. I think Apex will take longer. Longer handle for the heat gun, so you're not reaching? Nah. No, I'm good with how it is. I still gotta reach because I gotta card it. Do you not prefer the Furno 500? No. I've used all the other Wagners. I like this one better. The other ones don't really have any more heat. They just have features. And I've had, like, I bought the most expensive one. It must have been because they were new. Weldy, yeah, Weldy's good. I haven't used one. I also have Steinel. If you want like an awesome heat gun, probably either Weldy or Steinel. Wagner is just, it's the cheapest gun that's really good. So I don't find going with like a much more expensive heat gun to be significantly different. I feel like the 500 puts out more heat. That's possible now. I tried the whole lineup when they were new, and I bought them a few times, but I haven't tried them in quite some time, so they might be better. But on an outlet, there's only like so much power that they can draw. So I find like even the beefy Steinel doesn't really put out that much more heat. You kind of have to go to like the $600 one. to notice like a big difference, and then you're almost always tripping your breakers if you don't have like a better circuit.
And I'm working on building it and see which ChatGPT has gone out last year. Once was for like
Tune shop near me shrinks with a blowtorch. Yeah, if you want like the most amount of heat, you just go with a torch. More heat is just speed. So if you feel like your heat guns are going slow, grab a torch. Let's grab a towel and clay bar. Is it okay to shrink the film after establishing it on the window? What do you mean? Can you tell what side of the tint you're doing? We check it ahead of time. So if I'm not sure which side is which, I just peel a corner and look at it. So I always know that I'm shrinking on the liner side. Ooh, look at that. Look at that little blinking. Look at that little thing. A little thing in there blinking at me. That probably shouldn't get wet. Have you ever thought about doing an unpaid internship? Yeah. I think... So, we had somebody that used to work here. His name was Jack. Jack was super helpful. Jack could hold a camera. Jack would sweep up. Jack would always look for something to do. I need another Jack. But it's not like that every day. Like a day like today is like one of my favorite types of day. It's just everything is good right now. We're not scrambling to get a bunch of stuff done. I can be your Jack. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm Jack. I miss Jack. Jack was great. I saw a TikTok of his pop up, I want to say like 6 months ago or something. He's down in Florida, but he was advertising a couple boats for sale. He was selling for somebody. And I was just like, oh, no shit. Let's cover this up too. That's all fuzzy carpet now. Do you clay your back glass and dots? Not all the time, but it definitely doesn't hurt too. So we're going to do it on this one. I just hit my car and the guy who did it left all the suede hair on the glass. Did he do a good job, or he just left it a mess? Or is that like in the tint? This will probably help for some of this. Because I can only get so good of an angle on this camera. This one. This might help a little bit more. You can actually see what we're doing here. So I got a clay bar. Just gonna scrub off the back window. Lines look super clean. The car's like 3 days old. This really isn't gonna change much. But over time, your defroster lines, I pulled out something. Over time, your defroster lines, what's a tarnish? Corrode? They're not like rusting, but they're building up like a little layer, like a black layer. And the clay bar helps take that off, which means your tint is gonna stick better along those lines. And it just helps with cleaning. I used to just wipe them off with my hand and squeegee them, so clay bars, they're nice. Oxidize, that's it. Yes, that's a word. The lines oxidize. Oxidize or tarnish. That's what GPT told me. Because it gave me a couple materials, and it's like, well, this one will tarnish, and this one will oxidize. And it's like, that makes sense. Because, like, we have a class car, and every month we'll pull it back in, and it'll have that on the line. So it's like, I'm forever cleaning defroster lines. That makes sense why it was happening. It's because they're metal. I just noticed my Corolla has these tiny front quarters with no ceramic edging. It's just glass. Yeah, that's not super fun to tint. Oh, it's backwards. Let's see how we can do this. Okay, I have a remote, and I'm gonna have both my hands busy. I bet I can figure this out. Ooh, I know what I'll do. I bet I can push the button. I bet I can push the button at the right time. You guys ready for this? So we're gonna peel this. This is just gonna go up into the back window. This is why you have a remote. We're gonna spray it, and there's a delay. So I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna press the button. So we're gonna go to 3. Pick this up. Look at that! That was helpful. Just get up here. Want to make sure we're tucking all the way up, because you'll see a gap from the driver's seat. You won't see it when you're tinting it. And the crowd goes wild. Camera switching skills are on point. Ooh, I hope we don't have a gap. This one's gonna be tight. I don't doubt that it's gonna fit. It's way too popular of a vehicle for it not to fit. Everything else has been good. Alright, cool. We're good. Wow! Everything covered? Everything look good? Yes. Yes, it does. Is that tool in the shop yet? It is. We're calling it the Slim Sweep. Daniel doesn't like that name though. He calls it the ping pong. You heat shrink with the sticky side up. So that clear liner protects it, but it's sticky side up because it goes on the inside. So basically imagine that the glass isn't here right now. That's the way that you shrink it. It's like you just push it right through the glass, right? So everything's kind of like a mirror. It's funny to see how much of a delay that there is. It doesn't feel like there's a delay when I was playing around with it. But then when I use it, it's like there's like a good 3 to 5 second delay. All right, let's peel this off. Look at that, kept that nice and dry. So this is the only thing that we remove, and for good reason. The cover here, it's like, it's not a huge problem, but it definitely helps. So you see where this fabric edge, it doesn't really, like, we have a black border, but the fabric kind of sits like inside the glass area. So this bottom panel comes off super easy, just unclips and then gives you plenty of space. So then you can kind of tuck up in there without folding up the tint. The roof does the same thing. Like, look at that. You don't really have a defined edge until you get kind of like into the paneling. So that can bring dirt, that can bring creases. Not fun. So what else do we have on this one? We did the back window. Let's do the quarters. And then we got a windshield. I just double cut them because I had film. And if I really suck that bad on quarter windows, I get a spare. So now I got a, which side's which? These look upside down to me. This, if I were to just pick this up, I'd say they go this way. But they actually sit this way. Where's my... Oh, I put it all the way back here. A little spray. We're gonna take the baby squeegee, stick that in here. Started clay barring door windows. Did an older car. Turned out better. Nice. I didn't realize this till later. I should have realized it sooner. But I used to not wipe top edges off. I used to just clean windows and then install them. And then every once in a while I get a really speckly top edge. And I'm like, I don't understand where that's coming from. It's 100% coming. Hey, look at that. I got a couple speckles in here that I didn't know about. Let me go grab the other pattern. I guess it wasn't pointless, I just sucked. Yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. Wipe off the top edge, whether it be clay bar or just scrub it with a scrub pad and then wipe it with a towel or use a clay bar. But especially if you have a laminated window, that can be especially bad because there's like a divot. I'll show you on these. An older laminated window is a catch for dirt along the top. So they just should be scrubbed out. Ta-da! Oh, that looks better now. Let's go to the... There's no such thing as a flawless tint job. I beg your pardon. Have you met me? I'm just kidding. I try my damnedest, though. We get close. How often do you switch tri-edge corner tools? As soon as they start feeling rough. They have the Smooth It, which if you use it consistently, it'll help make them last longer. So this thing right here, this isn't sandpaper, this is like a abrasive fabric. You spray it and you run the tri-edge back and forth. But if you run tri-edges like deep into gritty seals, they're just gonna start to get scratchy. There's no way around that. I've scratched. Oh, no wonder why it was speckly. Ew. It feels gritty. The heck? It's a quarter window, bro. No wonder the other one was speckly. And then that piece of tint pulled all this shit off of it. Why didn't you shrink? Damn it, they caught me. Okay, so the vast majority, ignore it. You could 100% shrink these quarter windows a little bit. Be perfectly fine. You definitely don't need to shrink every window. But for example, we've got like a Ford Focus hatchback outside that has bigger quarter windows. They're kind of rounded. It's better to shrink those. It just goes based on the size and the curvature. These are really small and they're really flat. So I absolutely could shrink them a little bit, but you don't have to. But pretend that I did. Because if you don't know, it's worth shrinking everything a little bit. But another thing on quarters is like, especially when they have a border, like what's the worst case scenario? If I get a nice clean window, I have a little finger that pops up, I have space around this quarter window to shrink it out. or like heat it up, press it out, it'd probably lay down in seconds. But on like a door window, for example, if I got a finger that pops up at the bottom, it has a good chance of sucking up dirt from a seal like this. So there's just situations where like a finger would take you much longer to shrink out. It could bring extra trash with it. So it's just weighing those options. In the very beginning, shrink everything a little bit. Do 20-inch rolls fit most door windows? They do fit a lot. Pretty much every car and a lot of mid-size SUVs. 20-inch rolls used to fit Rams and Silverados and like Sierras. Silverados and Rams and Sierras, like the GM trucks, Dodge, a lot of bigger SUVs, they just made their doors a little taller. So a 20-inch roll just isn't quite going to cut it like it used to. I pretty much used to keep 20-inch rolls exclusively for F-150s. Or no, 24-inch rolls. I used to keep those almost exclusively for F-150s, and I could get away with doing a 20 for so much more. But now, like, the added film that I save just really isn't quite worth it. So instead of doing like 20s and 24s, I just keep 24s. How long have you been tinting? 16 years. Is it going on 17? It gets fuzzy for me. I tried using 36, but it'd get crease marks. Oh, just handling marks? That's just that's a good point. A 20-inch roll and a 24 is going to be much easier, but if you just want to save the most amount of money on a roll, it costs you a little bit more to use 20s and 24s, just because you're using more square footage, not because the roll is more expensive that way. Try and get this as nice as I can. Oh, it's amazing. I just thought you forgot to shrink. No, it's cool. I get asked all the time about shrinking, and whenever I don't shrink a window, which it's only going to be quarter windows, is like the only time you're ever going to see me not. But there's like this frustrating debate in our Facebook group where people will chime in, confuse people. They'll say like, oh, you don't have to shrink an F-150, you don't have to shrink this, you don't have to shrink that. And to somebody that's new to tinting, they'll do an F-150 and wonder why they still have fingers. So I just try and dispel that as much as I can. In the beginning, just shrink everything. It's not going to hurt you. How tall are you? Question is, how short are you? How short are you? I'm average height. I'm 5'8". 5'8", 5'9". I gotta look at my license. I'm pretty sure it says 5'8". Do you know anything about XPEL films? Yeah, I know a lot about XPEL. Do you ever run into problems where the tint doesn't stick to the glass aid? So if you're shrinking directly over it, it's going to make it a little wavy. So we always make sure the sides are flat. That's one of the rules we have about shrinking. And then over the edge, it's raised, so it'll cause your film to be a little bit, it's hard to explain. But even in our classes, we get rid of the tape, teach people how to shrink first, and then introduce the tape after. It just adds a little obstruction, and with our class cars, we don't care. But in today, you always want to make sure you're being safe when you're trimming out a window. I don't care if you use something different than a tape, just be extremely careful about dragging a blade around a window now. Even stainless, doesn't matter. Sharp things can scratch glass. PureMax Carbon worth starting out with. PureMax Carbon was an okay shrinking film. I'd still lean more towards like a dyed film just for practicing. On door windows, it's fine. Installing, it's fine. Like, you're gonna learn a lot. But the problem is always shrinking. Cheap carbon films, they're not as, like, even nice films are not user friendly. They just get a little bit easier because they want more people using their films, so they make them a little bit more user friendly a lot of times. Can you shrink the windshield in a method that's easiest for a beginner to not mess up the top corners? The method that we always do is easiest for a beginner. There's really no magic to it. Shrinking, like the way that you see me shrink here, is the way that we shrink in our classes, the way that we teach people. It's just, shrinking's tough. So I will, how can I open this? I'm definitely going to explain it as well as I can, but nothing that I say is just going to make it easy. So we'll do our best. Ooh, I need one more seat cover. So you want to know what's cool about these seat covers? I still like these regular dash towels, but with these seat covers, they have this like grip on the back of them, and so we put them this way and they just stay right over the screen area and they don't fall off. And then we'll take a dash towel and we'll put that over and we'll tuck this in. We do have the seat covers available. I think they're one of our newest, most awesome things. We've had them for a few months now. I can't tell you how many times me and other people will forget them in a car because they're so nice. Because they just stay in place. They feel like a seat. So it's a hoodie with a grip on the back of it. Goes right over the seat, and it does not move. So when you wiggle your butt back and forth, it's like a thick, like wetsuit type material. So they're in the store right now, $50 for a set of 2. We even took them, we were experimenting with this, cut them in half, and then just put it over the sill here. We would like ones that are fitted for the center and fitted for the sides, but if the seat covers end up doing really well, we'll look into getting some more options. But I think as a package, you want to cover a car up. There's no quicker and better way to do it than these. They throw in super fast. Dash towel tucks in, screen area is protected. I could even leave tools and stuff here and not worry about it. Need a bigger towel though. Should go a little bit farther out. I'm just starting out tinting and it was tough. My backlash first time, second time I got it to shrink, but the corners folded up. Corners are tough. And we're gonna explain what we need to do for the corners. But really, for shrinking, you're stretching the film out. So like the shrinking gets it to form to the glass, and then you're stretching it flat over the window. So what a lot of people do is they're just looking at getting the air pockets to go away. But the air pockets are telling us how to smooth out the film. I still have a roll of the door covers that wouldn't stick. It depends on what you were sticking it to. We had two versions, one with a shorter tape that we had early on, then we manufactured it with a wider tape that did better. It wasn't the best solution though, because the tape really just needed to be more aggressive. So we searched far and wide, and we now have a new version with a extra sticky adhesive. That's these new door panel covers here. So this one, I don't know quite how to measure it, but it's definitely a lot stronger. It's as strong of an adhesive as we're ever gonna have. If that doesn't stick to it, nothing is meant to stick to that door panel. Rear glass is so hard. Not on a Model Y. What car were you doing? Windshield's the hardest, well, out of the front and back. If it was a Model 3 though, it would be. So auto manufacturers, they make their panels easy to clean up. So they don't want stuff sticking to them. So the fact that any tape sticks is somewhat of a miracle. But that's like the simplest way to cover up a door panel without having to like try and take stuff apart. This is a 36-inch roll. And we don't have much space on the top and the bottom. So we can pull it a little bit, but not very much. I'm glad that 36-inch still covers this. That means I don't have to keep 40s in stock. So let's line that up. Still got space at the bottom. Still got this corner. Good. We're going to trim this out. So you can leave the tops and the bottom long, but just as long as they're not running into anything. The sides, I'll trim them anywhere from like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch wider than the sides. I don't really want them to be wider than that. It's okay if they are, but I don't want them to be. So this is just a rough trim. Just helps organize. And then we're going to find our midpoint. So I'm going to pull it from the center and I figure out where I get an even amount of fingers at the top and the bottom. And then I flatten it out right in the middle. Take the very edge of my card. Tack that down. Come back up. Move all the fingers off the side. move them upwards. Can you show a reverse roll on a windshield? That is the way that I install windshields. I wouldn't do it any other way. So same thing on this side. We're just going to find our midpoint again. Stretch the film flat. Cart it down. That just holds it in place. See, there's a finger coming off the side here, right? Well, I can direct that upwards. Just flatten out the sides. And now we're ready to shrink. Let me see if we can get a better angle as we go. Let me switch this to the back camera and see what happens here. Lens. Yeah, something like that. Let's try this and see what it looks like. We're gonna start with shrinking the bottom area. What's that look like? That looks upside down. That's not helpful to anybody. Why is it upside down? It doesn't look upside down on the thing. Hang on. Settings. Lock current orientation. We're going to flip it this way. Alright. We're going to go back to settings. And then we're going to go back to lock current orientation. And then go back to the camera. And we're going to see if that fixed it. This is some of the magical technical problems that I deal with trying to set up a different camera. May or not be worth it. Is it gonna be right? Hey, we did it. We figured it out. Look at that. We're not upside down anymore. So if I switch it, I now know the issue. Okay. Okay. Better camera though. So when we shrink, heat gun, 45-degree angle in the direction that we are shrinking. We move the heat gun back and forth. The temperature does not matter. We just want it hot. I'm looking for what the film is doing. So I'm looking for this pattern right here. These smileys that come across the window. So this is all loose film that needs to be shrunk. So I'm not going to take my card and go all the way down here. I'm going to push this in the direction that it were to go if it was a little ocean wave going into the shore. So as they kind of curve outwards like this, I then sweep it out over that edge. Then we flatten this back down, and then we continue shrinking. The biggest thing that people don't realize when they're shrinking is they will either just cook it, they'll overheat the film way too much, and they'll see these little sideways pockets and they'll just keep shrinking them and keep shrinking them. Don't keep shrinking them. You're just looking for them to form, and then you stop heating it. That's how you know that you heated it up enough. But then what you got to realize is that you're taking the film and you're physically trying to stretch it out over the window. So instead of just pushing these air pockets and making them go away, I'm trying to take this film and drag it forward. All the card is doing is an organization tool. It just helps pull your film across the window. You could do it with your hands, but it helps to just go a little bit by bit and go out the edge. So top corners are where people are going to have the most struggle That's where the most amount of curve is. Heat gun, 45 degrees in the direction that you are shrinking again. So now we're going up. So we got these waves here, right? Look at those nice pretty ocean waves. So what we want to do with that again is where I need to be 6'2". So I can use, this camera just gets in the way, that's on my neck. Okay, so this gets dragged up like that. These go straight. But as we get more towards the edge here, it starts coming out in this direction. I'm just matching my card up with the direction that they're going. But there's the most amount of curve here. So instead of taking this and pushing it up like this and tacking this down, I'm trying to take it and drag that out the side here. Then my finger up here gets flatter and we continue to shrink. And you shrink a little bit, you scoot it out this way. See, this little swoop here goes out more of an angle. So if I were to back this up, it's shrunk, but let's say it wasn't carded yet. And we lay this down, right? You see it's kicking up from here. It's kicking out in the middle. It's because that's tension. It's like stretching out a bed sheet over a mattress. So, all right, let's say I just shrunk it and I have these waves. If I were to physically pull it, I have to pull it from here. I just pull it from here. And you see how that flattens out? So what I'm doing with those, if I'm not using my hands to physically pull it, see how I'm stretching it out and it's kind of going out this edge? And then this is going out the top. I'm just literally taking it and flattening it out over the glass. Uh-oh. Oh, I put it in my tool belt? That's a bad idea. Don't do that. I love a teeny tiny remote. Teeny tiny remote's really easy to lose. I bet they're gonna sell me quite a few teeny tiny remotes. Alright, other heat gun. Let's go grab it. Right here. Oh yeah, this one sounds scratchy. The other heat gun sounds new. You know what I need to do? Hang on. Let me figure this out. I need a mount. I need it like, I think like here. So this is 1, this is 2. So we're gonna take a piece of tape. Not ideal, but it should be okay. Let's see, is that big enough? Oh, it needs to be bigger. Let's use Seal Guard. Seal Guard's better for this. I'm gonna put the remote in a helpful place so then I can quick switch without having to grab the remote in my pocket. So let's take this, something like that, right here. This is temporary, but this will work. Oh, that's fun. Because I always got both hands busy. But I can do this. I like it. No shit. Oh, I like that. That's fun. Every once in a long while, there's something that I figure out or that comes along that's like this. I'm a giant tech nerd. So window tint has always been my outlet to fiddle around with this kind of stuff. That's so fun. I didn't even think about mounting it in a better spot until I was doing this windshield. Now it's just a push of a button right there, and then bam. Years ago at this point, there was this streamer that I watched. His name was Sushi Dragon on Twitch. That dude was crazy. He had like 6 or 7 PCs all linked together for video effects and transitions and just crazy stuff. And he didn't even do anything on stream other than just like clown around in a warehouse. Oh, hi. Oh, you're good?
A first name, if that's okay?
Yeah, Matt.
Oh, it's for you.
Perfect. Do you need a signature?
I do. Just the first name, if that's okay.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you, darling. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Don't you hate tinting full windshields? Yeah, I kind of do. The worst part is just going through all the steps. And then you have like a dumb thing cause a situation. I gotta see if Sushi Dragon is still streaming. Dude, he was so helpful. He like did stuff that just completely blew my mind. He was going like, he turned his warehouse into a TV show. Like not with the script, but just in the sheer production. I think he had in the neighborhood of like 10 to 15 cameras all hooked up. and he had these keyboards on his fingers, like on both hands, and he would just, it was like an instrument for him. So he would do little visual effects, he would do camera switching, so he'd just walk around the warehouse, ride on go-karts, just do dumb stuff. And then he'd just switch from camera to camera. And I'm like, I want to do that, but with tinting. That's the kind of stuff I got to figure out to do this, though. Oh, it's crazy. All right. So we got a little bit more shrinking right there to finish up. It's hard to see with the shrink with light windshield film. I know it. That's 35 too. But I guess the white towel underneath probably makes it worse. Maybe I should, instead of white towels, I should do black towels. That would probably help. Alright, what are we doing? I got distracted for a minute. I know I gotta cut it out, shrink it, or finish shrinking it. But there was something else that I was gonna do. I'm getting distracted. What did we get from Amazon today? Oh, never mind. Okay. The guy told the guy I wouldn't do mobile for just a brow. He's paying $100+ for me to do it. You're absolutely good for you. It's exactly why, like, you'll hear that in a lot of things. Like flat glass. Oh, it's just one window. Can't you just come out and knock it out really quick? It's like, that's the whole problem, is coming out there and setting up just to do one window. It's economy, what do they say? Economy of scale. It's like you gotta actually have more going on to make it worth your while, or have a minimum pricing to come out. Otherwise, it just kills your time. A strip should only cost X amount, but good for you.
Yep. Yeah, you can do that. I don't know put that in here. Full size SUV or
All right, so we're trimming on the white line. Easy to see. And also, we don't scratch the window that way. When was it never for the money? Exactly. But if somebody comes to my shop and is just like, hey, I just want a windshield strip, we do them for less than 100. I just don't think some people realize. I knew somebody that drove across Michigan to tint a car for $250, and he had to rent a van to go out there. Like, how does that make sense? Ouch.
it's probably going to serve it as a sedan or as a van. If
$250 for the brow. Or no, $150. What? Oh, so $150 total. Nice. I like it. If I do 70% ceramic, would it help with the heat? Yeah, absolutely. Keep in mind your car is still a metal box. Your car will still get hot. But when you're sitting in your car, that heat that passes right through your windshield, the heat that comes like right through and hits your skin. When you do a layer of ceramic, you just don't feel that anymore. You're scamming. See, I knew somebody would say it. 150 for a brow is crazy. He had to drive out there to go do it. Like, if he's a friend and you're going there anyways, like, a lot of people do not understand what your time is worth. When you are spending time doing a thing, that means that, like, for money, that generally means that is the most valuable thing you can be doing with your time in that moment. And there's nothing else important that should be getting done. So, like, I get we all need our downtime and whatever. And a windshield strip in and of itself, yeah, it should absolutely, like, it can absolutely not cost that much. But you're getting somebody to drive out to you to do it. So if he was getting 2 doors, a full windshield, a full package, it would probably cost an appropriate amount. But if you're at a shop and he's just bringing it into you and you're just slotting it in an already busy day or an average day or whatever, normal price. But yeah, absolutely. Don't sell yourself short. You're going out there for a specialty thing. It's absolutely worth what it's worth. Especially in this day and age, man. Fucking can't get a burger for under like $15. Things are silly. Everything is this like $20 here, $20 there, $50 there, $100 there. It's like everything is screwy right now. Sometimes making $100 means losing $200 depending on what you could be doing. That's why I often turn away older cars. It's like I gotta choose if I want to spend all my day doing this, or if I want to get a couple normal cars, or a regular car, and then do something else. But if you have nothing to do, and you haven't filled up your time with anything, like, that's where people don't necessarily know or think that their time's worth anything. But that's always the way to look at it. When I did mobile for other shops, I'd go out to places, and then we would have appointments that just, like, wouldn't show up. And that was just expected. We didn't take deposits. That was just part of it. But one reason that I got this place eventually was I got really tired of letting people waste my time sitting somewhere waiting for 2 front doors to show up, and they just didn't. Or a sales guy was lazy and didn't book up our schedule. It wasn't costing him any money, but it would cost me money every time. Go out, sit somewhere from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. because we had one window in the morning. Oh, he didn't show up. And then we had nothing until the late afternoon, and then nothing in between. Like, fuck that. That drove me crazy. That's why eventually I got my own, I started doing things out of a home garage. Kept a couple mobile accounts. I went down this whole road. I started taking back time that I was letting other people waste. It drove me crazy, though. But I used to get really mad at the places. Eventually I started getting mad at myself. You live in Michigan? I used to live in Troy. I miss it. That's cool. We're Sterling Heights. We're literally right next to Troy. We're there all the time. I'm trying to tint my 95 Impreza wagon. Oof, that's gonna be fun. Got the heat gun, the Wagners. Any tips? Watch videos, man, and have at it. Stick with one thing. Like, I'm gonna tint this door window today. Is it a frameless or a framed window? Watch videos about it and try and make it happen. We're just cleaning for prep right now. Busiest time of year? Any time in the summer. So, not necessarily right now. August, there's a lot of vacations. There's always this like ebb and flow to it. So it gets busy, it slows down, it gets busy again, slows down. I'd say right now we're in a bit of a lull. It's backed off some. But this winter, I think is going to be like last year. I think it's going to be rough. So we have a company running our ads right now. We're getting a lot of leads every day. Not necessarily booking as much as I think we should off of those leads, but I think it's 100% necessary now. Landed a gig off the Ring app neighbor community. Nice. So those are always super cool avenues. Yeah, those are always super cool avenues to explore. You never know what you're gonna find where other people are not looking. Why don't you hammer for classes during the winter? They generally still just book up on their own, but classes are a lot of work. So I still only like running one a month. So we stay extra busy like in the summertime. And then when it gets slower in the winter, I'm happy, but it shouldn't mean that it comes to a grinding halt though. Yeah, it's that lower area that gets difficult. Where's my... you know what I want again? I don't know where it is. Where's my quarter pro? Where's my long quarter pro handle? I think I put it somewhere and I never found it. Probably just need to clean things up and I'll find it. But I had a longer quarter pro handle with a razor blade on it. Yeah, I try and be as thorough as I can. So when we were cleaning off I'll just grab a new one. Can I get a quarter pro set? Thank you. Perfect. When we were caution sharp blade. Ooh, it's already pre-installed. Thank you. Sorry, I was rambling. I forgot what I was talking about. Something about a quarter pro. I misplaced mine though. I don't know where it is. But there was definitely something that we saw before we even coated the windshield. So I'm just going to make sure that the bottom area, you can see residue. I'm going to make sure that gets scraped. What the heck? There we go. For plotter software, would you recommend... Oh, for a starter plotter. On the low end, Workhorse. I'm way less familiar with US Cutter, the Titan series, but I can tell you, if the buttons look the same, those machines are probably the same. It's just one's going to say workhorse and one's going to say US cutter. But they came out with a There we go. I missed it. It gave me a warning too. It said the battery had 10% left, and then I got distracted with something else. So I'm going to try and not ignore that next time. We are back. Battery problems. That's the problem with the wireless. I was like, how did my camera switch? I didn't think I pushed the button. Oh, the workhorse. Okay, so the workhorse. Workhorse 3, I would buy brand new. I think that's probably the best machine for your money right now. I haven't even used it in person, but they basically took a budget machine, the Workhorse 1, and Workhorse 1 and 2, and they took everything that was good about like a Graphtec or a Jag, and they built it into a budget-friendly machine. That's the whole point of that machine. Up from there, a new machine, still a little bit on the budget-friendly side, is going to be a... God, what's it called? A Jag. What's up?
Do you have any cash? Like a 10?
Yeah.
You just need change. I've got 12 if you've got it, but I've got two
Well,
ones.
what change does he need?
His total is 88, and he's got a $100 bill.
88.
So
So he needs 12. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. 5. 10. There we go.
Perfect.
Why is there a purple king symbol by my name? I don't know. But yeah, Jag's still a good, more budget-conscious machine. As far as I can tell, those machines have been out for like a really long time. But they work well. I think it's the only 72. They have the only 72-inch machine on the market. You probably shouldn't show your ID and stuff. I was trying to keep it off camera. Did I show it? That's bad. Oh, he distracted me. I grabbed the one with this. Don't want this. I want this. That's a way to identify your most commented subscriber. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I don't watch YouTube live streams other than the Linus stream every week. But I don't look at chat during it. So I actually have stayed completely out of touch with what YouTube is doing. They have a new community feature though. So they added Facebook groups to YouTube now. So there's a YouTube community on the channel. So if you go to the channel, you guys can post in the community section now. I'm trying to remember to use it, and it'll be nice to hopefully branch away a little bit from Facebook. What should I be charging? Man, I can't answer that question. I know what I charge. I know what some other places around here charge. I think the best way to kind of get a grasp on what your market is at is just calling around and hearing what potential customers would hear from other shops. What's the starting price for tint? We should make up some numbers. But it's so independently owned and run. There's people that are literally making minimum wage to work at a tint shop. And there's people that are making over $100K as a salary working for certain tint shops. So probably the average would be in the 50 to 60 range, just because there's so many lower places. But you can definitely make a lot more than that. It's just not going to fall in your lap. It's not standardized. It's literally part of it's going to be your negotiating ability. Part of it's going to be who you go and approach. A lot of times it's just going to be going and working for yourself. Bro, doing the same thing over and over again. Almost like it's a job. Or a business. There's no way that can be true, though. Been tinting since your class 3 years ago. How much? This year I'm looking at 120 to 150. Dang! Dude, that's sick. Congrats, man. 3 years ago. Wow. It's crazy how this space has changed since then. Were you at the class that the first one where the lights went off for part of the day? That was not fun. Good class though. Newspaper, do a better job at cleaning the glass. You're funny, I like you. We should be using newspapers right now to clean this windshield. What the fuck are we doing? Nope, the lights were on. Okay, that's good. What degree blade from US Cutter? For window tint, use a lower angle. So 25 to 30. Those are best for window tint. Newspaper doesn't work anymore. They don't use the same ink. Oh my god, I love where these conversations go. Just like cutting on glass isn't as safe as it used to be. Now the glass is a lot softer, but it depends on the car. I do have a video tinting with milk. And you know what? It turned out great. Milk tint, 10 out of 10. We should be using whole milk in our slip solutions. Why do we use water? Why don't we just use milk? Beer could work. I don't see why not. Alright. Yeah, that's a pretty good angle. Alright, so we're gonna reverse roll this. Alright. We're going to start with getting this as low on the window as possible, near that bottom corner. Doesn't need to go completely into the bottom corner, but we get that left side started first. Then we're going to start unrolling it. Is that better? Up a little bit more? Maybe not quite that high? Something like that. How do you know which side gets installed first? It depends on the side that I roll up. First one in, last one out. That's what you can tell yourself to remember. So the side that I roll up first is the last side that gets unrolled. I started at the passenger side. I'm gonna kind of tilt this mirror out of the way. Been asking questions and been ignored this whole time. What's your question? I don't intentionally ignore people. It's a bit of luck and frequency though. So if you have something that needs to get asked or answered, ask it a few times. Porsche Cayenne. I think that was the one that I just straight up had a bad day doing. It was just the front 2 doors. Came in like a set of doors later in the day. This is when I was tinting somewhere else. It's one of the few cars that I just turned away. I was just like, no, I'm not doing this right now. Spent too much time on trying to do 2 front doors at whatever we charged 2 doors at. Seals were super tight. Quarters were really big on those front doors too, so it just like I was just having a really off day with that one. Okay, so this part here, when you get to the end, let the film drop away. That way you can get the liner out. Otherwise, as you're unrolling it, you start to get cramped right in the very edge. It crinkles up the film, brings a lot of dirt in with it. It's just a bad time. $2017 Sonata, we would start the sides and the back at $299. $299, $350, $450 is where our prices would be. That looks good. That looks good too. Just make sure all my edges are covered. Do we do? Oh yeah, we do have it right here. So the Cayenne isn't that bad. No, I think part of it was because it was that bad. But it was definitely an off day. Like I had other stuff that I did that day, but it was like, hey, can you do 2 doors on a Porsche? I was like, probably. And then it showed up and I noticed the front quarters and it had really wide door seals. And so I started with the door and I spent like a good hour or so just trying to do that door. And it just wasn't happening. So, probably a bit of both. What's the point of the white stuff on the outside? So it's a dryer sheet. It helps in the shrinking process. I appreciate it. I'm getting ripped off. No, not necessarily. People just live in different areas, and some areas are more expensive. Shops are different. Everything is independently owned. Not everything, but a lot of things. A lot of shops are independently owned. So what you run into is in nicer areas or certain areas, they're just going to charge accordingly. If there's a lot more competition in your area, generally prices are a little bit more aggressive. So it's supply and demand. I'll hear that, and some people live out in like California and stuff, and it's like, dude, everything's fucking expensive out there. How do you know when you have a quality film? That's a good question. Because just picking up a roll of film, you don't really know. You kind of have to just talk to people and see what's out there. I mean, I recommend Geo. That's what I use. So you could start there. The paddle doesn't scratch the film? No. The paddle has a strip on it. got like a suede buffer on it, so this doesn't put scratches in it.
You got cold water in the fridge, help yourself from out. Warm out there today. Yeah, it is.
Especially since I'm in Florida, it's been crazy hot, but none of the places around me are franchised. How long before this squeegee starts scratching?
I said, are you proud of me?
It won't.
I did top first.
If it gets dirty, you just wash it off. Wash this out. It's not going to start scratching. Plotter blade, 25 to 30 degrees, yes. Yep, low angle, small number. I use the tint brush. Is that scratching? It was very different to see something with bristles. Definitely like the idea. We were using the pink clean. It's just the pink clean isn't as wide. And then Mark, he had an old whale tail that he brought in, but he put a piece of tape over it, like a squeegee tape. And I really liked that idea, and I just found a smaller handle. So it's still just as wide, but it comes in a smaller package. So like this, this same width. The extra handle is nice, but this thing looks so beat up. This is what it looks like new. It just looks so beat up. This is an old window tinting tool called the whale tail. It comes not pre-assembled. Did you put film on the windshield? Yes. $35. It's weird how you install a lot of things that a guy learned from because you do so many things differently. Competitions were some of the most interesting things to go see. You can have a room full of window tinters. They all been tinting for a long time. Everybody's going to do something different. That's why I think there's so much arguing. It's like some people shrink doors. Some people swear up and down you don't have to shrink doors. Some people pull seals. Some people don't. Like my brother, he bottom loads more than I do. He was shrinking out the top of door windows a little bit. He's just doing things a little bit differently. And then a lot of people in chat were like, why the fuck are you doing it that way? It's like, dang, dude. Everybody's just got their own things that they prefer. I had to double check. Windshield shade is 35. Both the roll and the box say 35. It looks a little light. That's our lighting and a white dash towel. So once I get that pulled off of here and pulled outside, it'll look more like 35. We had a little discussion about it though before we did it. He's got white seats, so he knew it was going to look a little bit lighter. Top 3 tint shades. Thank you so much for the knowledge. You're welcome. Top 3 shades for us are 35, 20, and 5. State laws kind of impact that too. So like if you're in Florida, you'll hear a lot of 15 in place of 20. We'll do a test. I want to pull this outside and see if the camera is going to stay connected. Oh, just kidding. I can't do that. My bad. I'll pull it outside and then I'll come back and grab the camera and show you guys. Keep up the great work, brother. Does anybody think of WrestleMania when they hear brother? Brother. Looks good. My heat gun started on fire. That's why they're called the Wagner Infernos. Eventually they'll go up in flames. That's not good. You never want a heat gun. There's a post in my group. One of them literally just burst into flames on somebody. They were walking around a car with it or something, and it just like exploded in their hand. It was a Harbor Freight ones. We used to have, we were getting the Harbor Freights because they had this awesome return policy. But then they stopped letting us return it. Because there was a stipulation in there that said it's not for commercial purposes, and we were absolutely using it for commercial purposes, so, you know, it's fine. It worked for a minute. But we were using the Drill Masters. Those were pretty good heat guns overall. I'm not a fan of the Warrior ones, but the Drill Masters were okay, but the switches, we just kept breaking switches, and I don't know. They just stopped working. But the other reason why I like using these is any heat gun that I've bought under $100 is gonna wear out. So you get whatever life you can out of it. Don't expect them to last forever. And then you just, like, they were cheap enough, you just go buy another one. Heat guns don't get substantially better until you're spending like $200+ on a heat gun. Will this be on YouTube? Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for watching. Full Model Y start to finish. It is the best glass cleaner. We give one to every customer now. We give them a towel that says Detroit Tint Studio, And then we give them a big bottle of glass cleaner. Doesn't matter if they just got 2 doors or if they got a full vehicle. What width for a plotter? On a plotter, it's totally fine to use a 40-inch machine. 60 is overkill. You hardly ever use 60. So, like, the only thing a 60-inch machine is really that good for is like, okay, now I can cut out a Tesla Model 3 back window. So I don't see the point of giving like an oversized machine. For PPF, it's helpful to Tetris more stuff together, and you aren't changing shades out on PPF like you are for window tint, so that's why it also doesn't really matter. Yay, this looks good. I like it. We didn't have a big hair in the middle. Yeah, it turned out really nice. See, if I can do windshields and then they turn out nice without any big hairs in them, then I don't mind doing windshields. I don't mind doing them near as much. I'm so used to doing them. It's just a full vehicle with a windshield. The majority of our appointments are full cars with windshields, or front doors and windshields. So when I get a car that's just the sides and the rear and no windshield, it's like, oh, this is nice. It's just less stressful. What glass cleaner do you use? We use Sprayway. You can find this anywhere. Price aside, and then it's like $2.50 most places too. You can even buy so we just buy the big packs from Amazon, so it costs us like in the neighborhood of $2.50 to $3 per can, and then we just give one to every customer. It's a real simple way of like, hey, how do you take care of your tint? Thank you for coming in. Does this have one or not? I'll show you guys how we do our towels too. It's just a fun little thing. So we have a small laser engraver, and it's literally just a light etching into the towel. Doesn't scratch the tint, doesn't feel abrasive. It just shrinks down the fibers a little bit in this space. So everybody gets a pretty towel and a bottle of glass cleaner. Do you get people who want a windshield and a strip? Is it recommended? Oh yeah, absolutely. It's more rare that we do windshield strips. It's just our clients. I've worked in like glass shops. Like I've been plenty of places where they have a lot of trucks. They do a lot of windshield strips. Looks good. But yeah, a windshield strip is different from a full windshield. Windshield strip just helps with your afternoon glare. So a full windshield is always a lot lighter than just a windshield strip. How How do you do them? You can put them straight on top of a full windshield. So you're gonna tint the full windshield first, and it's helpful if you just have your windshield strip pre-cut already. So I'll set up a windshield strip, get it cut, put it on the side, then cut and do my full windshield. And then right as the windshield is fresh, wow, what the heck? Tesla, what seal did you, there we go. I couldn't get my card in the seal, there. You just go straight over it. Otherwise you're gonna have a line. $16x32 silver reflective for a sunroof. Can I order small amounts to do my next tool order? We don't stock the architectural, but I know what you mean. Like I did with mine. It's fun to do. Just order a smaller roll of the exterior 2020. But yeah, we don't ship the film directly out of here. If you did a pre-cut sun strip, do you still recommend cutting it in two? Okay, so cutting a windshield strip in two is entirely based on what the windshield is doing. So if your windshield strip comes below, and like it's personal preference, some people go really far down, some people don't. But see this housing right here? If I did a windshield strip below this, it'd be a little bit of a big windshield strip. So most people are going to stay above this, but every windshield's different. So if it's staying above that, then you're cutting it in half. But if it's below that, you would still cut out the mirror area in the camera, but it would have to be in one piece still. This piece. Good job, Tesla. They changed materials. Oops. Hang on. Let me hop up here. Come on, where's the clip? There we go. It's like a chiropractor. Just gotta find that spot and bam. Sprayway glass cleaner is a 4-pack for $9.88. So yeah, that's a little less than $2.50 per can. It's about what I said that we pay typically. You're not really going to find it for less than that. Very good price. You can often walk in a Target or a Walmart and get them for $2.50 a can. That's what I thought we were going to do. And then we saw they had cases for literally the same price on Amazon. So we're just buying a case at a time. We obviously use it, and we can just give them to our customers as a thank you. It's nice being able to give them a giant bottle of glass cleaner. They're like, oh shit, thank you. So it's such a good way of explaining. Like, yeah, care instructions, super easy. We tape your switches, just leave the windows up for a couple of days while it's drying. And then when you go to clean your windows, you always use an ammonia-free glass cleaner. And I point it out on the bottle and I say, this is yours to take with you. and then use a soft microfiber towel, and I hand them one of these. So literally, like, there you go. Clean it with that. How do you clean your windows without leaving streaks? So these towels seem to work really well, these purple ones, but something that evaporates really fast. So Sprayway is really good. It's a very fast evaporating glass cleaner. Also, just like 70% isopropyl mixed with water. Any alcohol and water. Like 10 out of 10 for glass cleaning. Don't use fabric softener. Yeah, definitely never use fabric softener on your towels. They go from being like grippy to ugh. Sorry, I got distracted by a comment there. What was that? When will your poppers finally disappear? A good product costs money. Poppers. When will you dribble drabble? Fuck off. No fabric softener on washing your towels. Two things will destroy your microfiber towels. So microfibers are literally lots of little fibers and they stick out. When you use a dryer sheet, it coats the fibers in a wax, so they just don't grab and absorb as much. They destroy them like super fast. So you notice if you take one, like they just feel different when you pull them out of the dryer if you've accidentally thrown like a dryer sheet in there. But they're like nice and plushy when you have them and they're new. Throwing them in the wash is great for them. They help get rid of a lot of extra fibers. Just don't use dryer sheets. And then also when you dry them, don't do the hottest setting possible. That will start to melt all the fibers on the microfiber and make them like scratchy. So low heat. We still use like Tide. We don't have any special microfiber wash. I don't know. It could be life-changing. I just haven't tried it yet. So I'm not the utmost authority on washing microfibers, but I know those two things will keep your microfibers very nice. No dryer sheets, low heat, 10 out of 10. But yeah, for cleaning glass, anything that dries like super fast, so alcohols, this glass cleaner is really good. So there's Sprayway, what is it, Invisible Glass, I think is a alcohol-based glass cleaner. Like you can smell it. That's a really good glass cleaner too. You just want something that evaporates really fast. So a good way for cleaning is either spraying the towel or spraying the window. And then you take one side, you wipe it, this is your wet side. You see how it's already evaporating pretty quick, and then you go over it with the other side. And then, like, something that I forget too, your baby shampoos, they have fats in them, so those will leave a lot of little, they can leave white streaks behind, they can kind of feel greasy. So something that kind of degreases that, I've been using Tint Slip for a long time, and it's definitely not like magical or anything, but we don't have like the same fats that like a baby shampoo does. So it's just, Tint Slip's not going to feel as greasy when you're cleaning it. But like a Dawn is a degreaser that breaks that kind of stuff down. Helps clean it quicker. Looks good. Ooh, I like it. 10 out of 10. Take the seat covers out, except for this one. ...2020 Nissan Sentra. Did you want to do full windshield or everything without the windshield? I like it. Everything but the windshield. So everything but the windshield would be $299 for our base, which is a nice carbon film. This film is C2 ceramic. This would be $350, and then we have another ceramic film above it, which is basically like double tinting your car in ceramic, so it helps block that much more heat. That would be $450. But since you're not looking to do the full windshield, heat's probably not going to be as big of a concern. Either the carbon or the ceramic would be great options. This looks nice. I like this. I think he made the right call on 5. On the fronts. Because you can still see the white in those seats. I think it looks really good. We were leaning towards 15. But look at that. Ooh, that looks nice. Ten out of 10. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for hanging out today. I'm gonna call it. It's been real. It's been fun. Real quick, what kind of lighting do you use? I need to fix all this. I got UFO lights and then like just the Amazon Halo lights, and they did a really nice job of just brightening up the space. All the rectangle lights that you see came with the shop. It looks like that one's out, so we got to replace that one too. But a lot of those came with the shop. I want to just do long LED runs across it, but it'd be expensive, so we just haven't got there yet. It's like flooring. It's like I'll get there eventually. Do you have 1%? No, we have 2%. It's twice as light. All right, see you guys.